Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited. As it's Friday, and that means tonight was Friday Night Smackdown. And there's a new era of Friday Night Smackdown. It is Smackdown on USA Network now, no longer on Fox. We got a new logo, we got a new theme song. We got a pretty interesting show here at the start and the finish. Everything in the middle was just another episode of Smackdown. Wasn't special. Wasn't like something like, oh my God, you got to go see. But the cage match to kick off the show and the angle with Roman at the beginning, really good. And the angle at the end to set up the big tag match of Bad Blood, really good as well. Also, again, another banger match from, I almost just pulled the cords right out of the computer. Another banger match from Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, with Andrade becoming the #1 contender for the U.S. title. So overall, I would say it was a good SmackDown. I would say that. I wouldn't call it great or anything, but I would say this was a good SmackDown. 9-minute overrun, which is interesting. No, it was 6 minutes. 6-minute overrun, which I wonder if that's going to be the norm going forward, because we know on Fox they were never able to do the overrun, but NXT always got an overrun on the USA Network. So I wonder if SmackDown is going to get an overrun every week. So the NXT one was usually 6 to 9 minutes. So the big question here is, will SmackDown get an overrun every week, 6 to 9 minutes? Now, we do know that moving to the CW, NXT's overrun is gone because a lot of markets run news at 10 o'clock on the CW. They basically run their Fox news because a lot of, and I know like where I used to live in California, it was the Fox and the CW were both owned by Sinclair Broadcasting. They would air 10 o'clock news on both at the same time, basically. And so I know other media markets do that as well, as far as on the CW. So NXT will not have an overrun anymore. They have a hard out at 9:59, 10 o'clock. And yeah, that's a big change. And now it looks like we're getting the switch over and the overrun possibly to SmackDown. I did see some people were upset tonight because they muted things, and everyone was going into this show going, well, we're not on Fox anymore, so they don't have to mute or black stuff out. Oh, they muted a lot of stuff out, especially during the opening of the show. People were chanting, holy shit, they were muting that out. I think there was a what the fuck chant or something with the F word, I believe. They were muting that out as well. So we're still getting that. And that goes to what I've been telling you guys. Even because everyone's like, oh, the show's going to be so much better. And I'm not saying the show's better or worse. I thought it was just the same. But everyone's like, it's going to be so much better on USA because they don't have to bleep anything. They don't have to mute anything. No, they might. And they did. So for everybody that was coming at me saying that I was dumb, thinking that it's not going to be like that anymore, well, who's the dumb one now? Who the dumb one now? But with all of that, I got to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. You can also support the channel by becoming a channel member and hitting that join button. Even if you can only support at the $1 tier, we greatly, greatly appreciate it, whether that is here on YouTube or patreon.com/PWU Unlimited. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting in on their end of summer sale, pre-ordering EA Sports FC 25, or claiming the free games, which right now are Rugrats Adventures in Gameland, which I fully played through and streamed last night, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy, and it's also full gameplay on the Timmy Buddy YouTube channel as well. Plus, they also have Super Crazy Rhythm Castle is free right now as well. Plus, there's some cool Venom skins Fall Guys you might want to get. So use this code right here, PWUNLIMITED, for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. As far as Friday Night Smackdown does go, show comes on the air from Seattle, Washington. Corey Graves and Michael Cole welcome us to the show. New theme song by, I want to say they said Megan Thee Stallion. Never heard the song before, but cool. Great new graphics, great new logo. I saw some people not fully liking the logo because the way they cut the S into the D for down and this and that. I think it's creative. I like it. And so, yeah, Michael Cole, like I said, welcomes us to the show, sets things up. And out comes the COO, Chief Creative Officer, CCO, Chief Creative Officer, Paul Triple H Levesque. And this man hyped us up to where I was, what's the Rock always say? Goosebumps. Levesque said it seemed just like yesterday. He went one-on-one with The Rock on the first episode of Smackdown, and now it's hard to believe that they've been here for 25 years. Levesque said that there was no better place to be than in Seattle, Washington, and there was no better way to start it off than with the undisputed WWE Championship on the line in a steel cage. Levesque then asked, "Are you ready? Welcome to Smackdown." The cage begins to lower. Pyro going off all around all four sides of the ring. Triple H leaves before the pyro goes off, of course. So, cool opener. Just throw Triple H out there really fast, hype everybody up, and say, let's go. We got a video package basically letting us know what we're in for and what the story to this match is. So if you haven't fully been following, you know what's going on. This match itself did go about 16 to 16 and a half minutes. It was Cody Rhodes defending the undisputed WWE Championship in a steel cage against Solo Sikoa. And I'm just going to say it now. The match was really good. Like, really, really good. The expected outcome and post-match. But a really good match. Nonetheless, yet, they did Solo no favors. They did Solo no favors. What has Cody been doing to win matches? To retain his title? The Crossroads. But not just the Crossroads. 3 Crossroads. He's been doing the grab it, hook it, swing it, slam it, keep a hold, repeat, then pin. So when Cody goes for the Crossroads, and he only does it once, and Corey Graves is like, "Oh, that's the hardest move he's got," or something like that. About, you know, he gave everything he had to Solo there. I'm like, "No, Corey, he always does the 3," but I was wrong. Not too long later, he hits him with 1 and then pins Solo. So they kind of made Solo look like the weakest challenger Cody's had of late. And this is the second time that Solo's faced Cody for the belt as well. Give me 1 second. I'm getting too much glare in my glasses here, and I know it probably doesn't look good for you guys. I'm going to raise this light up just a tiny, tiny bit, but I can still talk. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. But yeah, I didn't like the fact that Solo only took 1 Crossroads. While most people, I think KO, Roman, AJ and stuff, they all took like 3. Cody's been doing the 3, so very weird, very odd here, but nonetheless, good match. Some really cool spots. Cody had control early and hit a drop punch twice. The 2 then traded strikes, and Rhodes hit a bulldog before running Sikoa into the cage for 2 times. Cody then ran at Sikoa, and Sikoa backdropped Cody right into the cage. Sikoa then followed this up with a hip attack against the cage to Cody. Sikoa then took control and put the boots to Rhodes. Sikoa then landed a flying headbutt as Cody was draped upside down in the corner. Sikoa then went for another one, but Cody moved and tried climbing the cage, yet Solo cut him off. Cody was then bleeding like right on the hairline forehead, coming off the top of the cage. Not sure exactly where the cut came from. Sikoa then threw Cody off the side of the cage. Sikoa followed this up with a bunch of headbutts. Cody then went for a disaster kick, but Sikoa caught Cody and rammed Cody into the cage a couple of times. Sikoa then lifted Cody up for a powerbomb, but Cody climbed up the cage and hit a Cody cutter for a near fall off the top of the cage, basically. Only got a 2 off of it. Cody then tried to climb the cage again, but Sikoa grabbed Cody's boot. Sikoa pulled Cody back into the ring and down onto the mat and started climbing himself. Cody started climbing as well, and the wrestlers fought on the top of the cage. Cody then rammed Solo's head into the top of the cage, and Solo kind of started to slide down. Sikoa stopped Cody from trying to go over the top, though, and climb out, and hit him with a big old superplex off the top of the cage. Neither guy then appeared to land all too great, but they kept on keeping on. Sikoa then covered Cody, but only got a 2 off of it. Cody slapped Sikoa, and Sikoa came back with a pair of rock bottoms or uranagis, whatever you want to call them, for near falls. Sikoa then set up for a Samoan spike, but Cody blocked it, fired up, and eventually hit a disaster kick in a Cody cutter for a near fall. Cody set up for a crossroads, but Sikoa countered into a hip attack, a Samoan drop, and a splash from the top for a good near fall. Sikoa then followed this up with another hip attack, but it was in the corner where the cage door was kind of sitting, so Cody almost escapes here. Sikoa then lifted Cody, but Cody countered into a crossroads for a good near fall. Cody then climbs the cage. He went to the top. He didn't try to climb down. He instead stood up on the top of the cage and hit a big old crossbody off the cage onto Solo. I thought he was going to do the moonsault, because we've seen Cody do it before. We saw it in that APW match with Kurt Angle. We saw it in that AEW match with Wardlow. The moonsault off the top of the cage. So I'm sitting here going, Cody about to give us the moonsault. Cody's about to give us the, just a crossbody. Still a cool spot, but it's like, we've seen Cody do better. Come on, buddy. Anyways, he hits the crossbody on Sikoa and gets another near fall. Cody then asks for the door to be opened. He goes to make his way over to the door, but Sikoa slams it right in his face. Sikoa then went for a Samoan spike, but Cody thwarted it into another crossroads. Only one crossroads. 1, 2, 3 pin. Cody retains the title. So I was a little disappointed in that it was like, oh, you beat Solo with only one crossroads. What are we doing? You want Solo to still be a threat, but you're only beating him with one crossroads? That's a little no bueno if I'm going to say so myself. Post-match, though, Bloodline come down to surround the cage. They all climb the cage. Sikoa landed a Samoan spike on Cody, and the Bloodline worked him over, complete with a moonsault from Jacob Fatu. He did his bounce, double bounce, float over moonsault. He also then hit another from the top of the cage. And I'm like, oh boy, Jacob Fatu is amazing. Well, he was going to hit another from the top of the cage, because then Roman's music plays. Roman Reigns' music plays. Fatu gets off the top of the cage, and Roman makes his way down to the ring. Roman gets in the ring and closes the door behind him. Reigns then beat the hell out of Tama Tonga and Tangaloa until Sikoa stopped Roman. Ultimately, Sikoa ran into a Superman punch, and Fatu, who had already gotten out of the ring, pulled Sikoa out of the cage. Roman then looks down at Jacob Fatu and says, "Come on, big man, get in here, let's go." Jacob obliges, whatever the word is. And he gets in the ring. Roman's staring at him. He's staring at Roman. They're about to go, and Solo pulls out Jacob. Jacob Fatu gets pulled out by Solo Sikoa. From there, Loa and Tonga then beat down Roman until Cody got back onto his feet and gave each a crossroads to make the save. No, he gave Tama Tonga a crossroads. Tonga Loa took a spear. Cody and Reigns then stare at each other. Roman turns around to see Cody there, and they kind of not embrace, had an awkward stare down. Cody's music plays, and the segment ends. So, good 35 minutes of the opener of the show. Basically, it was 16, 17 minutes of the match, and then another 14, if I'm doing my math right in my head, post-match. Supposed to get 30 minutes of, about another 10. No, 20. Oh, hold on. No, I'm doing the math wrong. It's about 8 to 10 minutes, because I forgot the Triple H stuff at the beginning. Anyways, my bad, I'm rambling. Good opener. Good opening segment to build towards the main event segment for the show as well. So when they did the cage match to open the show, I go, okay, so the KO tag match main event? Maybe? And no. Actually, it was way earlier in the show than I expected. I was thinking to Elite Tiss for the subscription. He's subscribed as a channel member, because I can't see the Smackdown since my TV was black. What do you mean? You can't see this SmackDown since my TV was black. What do you mean? I don't know what you I don't know why your TV was black. It was on USA Network. Everybody got to watch. So well, last week and this week, they're not the same. Last week was on Fox. This week was on USA. So are you on the right channel this week? Last week, I don't know why you would have got blacked out. I don't know. I don't know. Nothing got blacked out on tonight's show. And it's not like you're on Fox where I know some weeks in preseason you got preempted and you didn't even air on Fox because of football. You said screen was black. That's a you issue, buddy. That's a you issue. Because if you watch on USA, nothing got blocked out or blacked out. At least not that I noticed. I was watching, of course, through the USA Network website and app. But it's the same feed. So unless you're not in America, I don't know what to tell you. But here in America, on the USA Network, the only thing that they did was they muted stuff, for bleeping and censorship, but nothing got blacked out. So if you say I didn't see anything because it was all blacked out, that's a you issue. That's a you issue. Also, Esports Gaming Rules with a bit donation says Def Rebel are leaving WWE when their contracts expire, and it seems the WWE Universe are happy. So let's talk about that for a second. There's a rumor that WWE, it's not that Def Rebel are leaving. There's a rumor that WWE are not going to re-up the contracts of Def Rebel. They're going to do more of in-house or licensed music stuff. So we'll see how it all just play out. I don't know how much longer Def Rebel have on their deal with WWE, but a word going around today was that basically once this deal is over and the contract expires between the two sides, it's not going to get renewed. So there we go. Elite Tips again says, last week I didn't have the channel on my TV. He says, last week I didn't have the channel. This week my TV was fully black. Ain't that something? I don't know what you talk about. Like, I get it, but I don't know. That's a you issue. Like I said, everybody else got to watch on USA. And it can't even be like I don't know why you don't get Fox. Everybody gets Fox. All you need is a goddamn antenna. All you need is an antenna and you can watch Fox. But Fox, USA, two different channels. One's on cable, one's on broadcast. So you can't even compare the two. So it sounds, again, like a you issue, brother. Also, yeah, Clan Twitch. I'm not even going to read your message there. You're actually going to get timed out for fake news. We ain't doing that. We ain't asking about fake matches in the live chat. No, we ain't doing that. Because no offense to anybody watching, but some people see stuff in the live chat and think it's real, and you're talking real. Then they have to come to me and go, hey, is this real? I saw it in your chat. And then it makes me look bad. So I'm just there right now. Don't put fake shit in the live chat. I'm going to look something up really fast because I hadn't heard about this. But yeah, no, this ain't real. Ain't real at all. I'll just say right now. Well, why are you asking about a Brock Lesnar Obafemi match? You stupid? Like, no offense. Are you trying to bait me in to talk about a fake match? That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, good crowd tonight. I think a couple people saying that in the chat as well. Seattle, Washington's usually a pretty good crowd. I'm going to be interested to see when Brian Alvarez talks about it this week because he was supposed to be there live from Bothell near Seattle. So he said he was supposed to be there live tonight. Lisa, I didn't lie. I didn't lie at all. You say, you lied. You say, top Raw talent Gunther going to show up tonight. That's not what I said. That is not at all what I said. And you can't put it on me because it was a report from PWU Insider. What was reported was that Gunther was expected to be at the show. And we said in the video, but it is unknown if he will appear on Smackdown or not. So I'm going to look something up. Again, the report stated that WWE Champion Gunther. So here we go. Don't come at me, bro. I got you right here. So what was reported was that WWE Champion Gunther was expected to be at tonight's Smackdown in Seattle, Washington. Yet it was unclear if Gunther would be appearing on the broadcast or not. So let's pull this up on the screen. I got something for you. You want to call me out for being incorrect or wrong? Oh, do you now? Oh, do you now? Well, look what took place after SmackDown. Oh, an impromptu world title match for the live crowd between Gunther and Damian Priest. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Gunther did appear at the show. Again, we never said he was going to be on the live SmackDown broadcast, but we said that he was expected to be there. And he was. And he wrestled. So there we go, Lisa. Anyways, back to SmackDown. Kathy Kelly interviews GM Nick Aldis after the break. Aldis says that everyone has been sequestered in their own dressing rooms. Sikoa has asked for a match, but Aldis doesn't quite know what it is yet. Aldis is about to go speak with Sikoa right now. So moving forward, why are people mad? What do you mean doing that match now? The fuck? You never go to live events? Untelevised live events. They do world title matches like that all the time. Like the last live event I went to, Gunther was the IC champion. We got a hell of a match between Gunther and Chad Gable for the IC title. Like, it's called a non-televised match, a dark match. Nothing. What do you mean, the fuck? Do stuff like this all the time. You just probably don't pay attention to what's not on the television broadcast. Oh, good, Lisa. She says, my bad. And moving forward, at a 2-minute match, it was Michin versus Piper Niven. Niven ran at Michin, but Michin moved and Niven went to the outside. Michin then hit a suicide dive. Michin then kicked Chelsea Green in the head and looked for something under the ring. And I'm like, oh, this ain't a no DQ match. What are you doing, girl? Michin then eventually pulled out a kendo stick and hit Green with it. And I'm like, meh. Kind of meh. Wasn't a big fan of this one because I'm like, well, you fight Chelsea. You got Piper and this and that. And just focus on your match. Anyways, Niven then hit a dive on Michin and rolled Michin back into the ring. Niven then went to the second rope, but Michin cut Niven off with a belly-to-back suplex from the second rope onto Niven. Michin then followed this up with a knee to feet and picked up the victory. Nothing here. 2-minute match. Afterwards, Chelsea Green attacked Michin with the heels. I wrote that weird. Of Green and Niven. Grabbed just a trash can, put it in the ring, and Green gave Michin an unpretty her on the trash can. Go. It was just there. Kind of just all right. I got photos profiling memorable moments of SmackDown's history. We did see, all people, Rob Van Dam, which is cool. We've seen him, weird after what he said about WrestleMania and his AEW appearances. Whatever, cool. Vicky Guerrero was also there. That's an interesting one. But even the RVD one's kind of interesting because he had stated back in March, I want to say, that at one point he was contacted about doing some stuff for WWE at WrestleMania or over WrestleMania weekend, and then was told never mind, basically. And he thought it was because he worked for AEW. When's the last time RVD did an AEW anything? Let me look that up really fast. Rob Van Dam cage match. Because it's been a while. April 20th, Rampage. He defeated Isaiah Cassidy, Commander, and Lee Johnson. But yeah, he brought RVD in. Just random. All the way to Seattle. The one that shocked me was Vicky. That was cool. That was really cool. Gunther and Leuven Kaiser were shown in the crowd. I mean, you got them on the show right there. It's like, I didn't say that Gunther was going to wrestle on the show. Anyways. But Gunther did end up wrestling in a dark match after the show. And Gunther got booed. Kind of like that, you could tell. And then it turned out Kevin Owens' mystery partner was someone who Waller in theory laughed at. Owens said his real partner couldn't make it, so That's Ricky, one half of Midnight Heat, in case you didn't know. And that's my partner. Crowd then chanted, Ricky, Ricky, Ricky. A producer then called Owens over and told Owens, hey, your partner actually made it. Owens then walked over, gave Ricky a stunner, and voices ended up playing, and out came Randy Orton. I thought this was funny. I thought this was great. Kevin Owens is amazing and stuff like this. And, yeah. Kevin Owens, kudos to you, bud. That was great. I loved it. Also, if you haven't seen Chris Van Vliet's interview with Stephen Amell, because basically he asked Stephen Amell, of all the wrestlers in wrestling now that haven't like ventured into acting, who can you see breaking through? He said Kevin Owens. He said Kevin Owens is somebody that he could see breaking through. So we did have Kevin Owens and Randy Orton against A-Town Down Under. This match went 9.5 minutes. Fun match. I liked it. I thought it was really good. Match opened with a lot of brawling on the outside, with Waller back suplexing Owens on the commentary table, kind of like Randy Orton does. The show then cut to a picture-in-picture break, which is, okay, cool. We're getting the picture-in-pictures for Smackdown. They do them for NXT. I don't believe they do them for Raw on the USA Network. But yeah, we're getting them on SmackDown now, which is very cool. I like that. When it returned, the heels had the advantage, but ultimately, Owens got the hot tag to Orton, who hit his back suplex on the commentary table to both Theory and Waller. Owens and Orton then did all of Orton's moves together and then went to the home stretch. And that concluded with Orton hitting RKO on Waller, Owens giving a stunner to Theory, and then Orton pinning Waller to pick up the victory. So fun little 9.5 minute match here that I really enjoyed. It was a nothing match, though, if you want to say. Like, cool. Nick Aldis then announced that Solo Sikoa has made a big challenge for the Bad Blood Premium Live event. He wants he and Jacob Fatu to be teaming up together to take on the team of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes then walked in. This was weird. I don't know if I liked this. Cody walks in and he looks at him and he goes, Nick, you heard me out there. I said I'm done. And I'm done with all of this. The bloodline, all of it. I'm not signing the contract. And he leaves. And Nick Aldis is just like, oh, you see, he wants to say, oh, fuck. But he's just like, oh, man, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So, yeah. Cody says he's not signing the contract. He's done with this. So I'm like, what are we? I don't know. The way this match got set up was not the best, if I'm going to be honest. We got more photos. Things happening in the SmackDown's history, including Booker T and Stone Cold in the grocery store. And then we see the King and Queen, Booker and Sharmell. They also show Sheamus and Michael P.S. Hayes in the crowd as well. Then, really cool, there's a video of Tiffany Stratton, Pretty Deadly, and Nia Jax, basically down at, I want to say, Seattle Market District. I could be wrong on that. They were slinging fish. That was really cool. So that then led to Nia Jax coming out for a segment. Nia Jax made her way out to the ring all by herself, grabbed a microphone, talked about how she's unstoppable. Jax said that everybody in the locker room fears her. Started getting the what treatment. Jackson said, I've been told by Nick Aldis, well, I must defend my title at Bad Blood. My WWE Women's Championship will be on the line, but I don't have an opponent. She says, I also don't care who my opponent is. I'm going to beat him anyways. And out comes Bayley. Bayley had a microphone in hand and said, ding dong, you idiot. Crowd then chanted Bayley's name. Bayley said, Jax has had the greatest year of her career. But it wasn't like Jax set the bar really high for herself anyways. Bayley got into the ring and walked right up to Nia, saying that she wants a rematch for the belt. Jax said, I'll think about it. Yeah, no. The two then exchanged jabs and stuff before out would come Tiffany Stratton. Stratton then walked out and said that Bayley is pathetic and jealous of her and her Money in the Bank briefcase. Bayley then goes, if I'm pathetic, then what are you? Because I beat you. Bayley said that, said something that made Jax and Stratton appear to be at odds because she's like, I beat you. And then Tiffany was like, well, I only won because Nia got, and I was like, excuse me? She goes, no, that's not what I meant. You know what I mean? And then Nia's like, Bayley, you ain't going to come between us. That ain't going to happen. Naomi's music would then hit. Naomi would come out to the ring, and Naomi's just like, hey, what are we doing talking? Let's fight. Naomi said, you know, it's been a while since I've held gold, and I really want to do it again. So I want to challenge you for the title of Bad Blood. And then she said something about a tag match challenge and this and that. And yeah, Jackson said, how about you guys fight for the number one contendership? And they're like, in a triple threat with her? We've already done that. And Nia's just like, no. Here's what we're going to do. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know Nia became the GM all of a sudden. So we're going to have a tag match. You two versus me and Tiffy. If you guys can win, whoever gets the fall gets the title shot. But if when we win, whoever takes the fall is gone from SmackDown permanently. So Nia gets out of the ring. Tiffany's about to get out of the ring, and Bayley says something to her. So it looks like Tiffany's about to run at Bayley with the briefcase before Nia hits her with a rear view, big old hip attack to end the segment. So this is an interesting one because you're either setting up a title match for the pay-per-view or sending somebody to Raw, essentially, kicking somebody off the brand. And I don't know which they do. I don't know what the plan would be here. I'm a little perplexed. Does Bayley just pin Tiffany again and then bada bing, bada boom, we're good, Bayley Nia? Or does Bayley get pinned and go to Raw? And then we can do some stuff there with her and damage. I don't know. I don't know. I like this kind of stuff where it's like, unlike in like, how do I explain this? Sometimes you see an angle and you go, I'm confused. Where the hell is this going? I don't like this because it's too confusing. This is a confusing of oh, I see where it's going. There's two outcomes and it's not super predictable. And it's not confusing in a bad way. Like with I'm just going to say it, John Moxley stuff on AEW. When he came out for a couple of weeks, it was like, this ain't your company. I need to speak to Darby. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? This makes no sense. At least with this, we know what the outcome's going to be or could be. And there's two possible outcomes. Either someone's getting a title shot or someone's getting kicked off SmackDown. And it's very unpredictable which way it goes. Big Tish says, but Bayley didn't get a rematch yet. And you don't always get a rematch. I mean, when Roman get his rematch? He didn't. What do we talk about here? Bayley didn't get her rematch. No, she should have tried harder earlier. Not waited so long. Anyways. Nick Aldis was shown walking backstage. Aldis told Kathy Kelly, I've spoken to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns wants to address the situation himself in the ring. And he will do so after this next match. Well, Ron Simmons and Teddy Long were shown in the crowd as more photos were shown above SmackDown. And I go, no Bradshaw? No JBL? They not a fan of him showing up for other companies? I haven't seen the TNA pay-per-view, so I don't know if he showed up at Victory Road or not. Anywho. We then had a 10-minute match. It was Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. And again, another classic match between these two. These two are great opponents. These two work fantastic together. So Hayes attacks Andrade before the bell, but then the bell just rang and the match starts. Andrade pushes Hayes off of him and off the top rope to the outside. Andrade followed him up with a moonsault on Hayes to the floor. Hayes then came back with a chop on Andrade, but Andrade responded with a big boot and rolled back inside the ring to break the count, and then rolled back out to go work on Hayes. So with that, he jumps up on the barricade. Hayes then pops up there as well, and there's a big Spanish fly spot. Really cool. Looked like Andrade maybe landed a little on his face. Hopefully not. He seemed fine, though, throughout the remainder of the match. Show then went to a second picture-in-picture break. Again, love it. Love they're doing the picture-in-picture for SmackDown on the USA Network. Again, we don't get that for Raw, really. I think they've tried it once or twice and just said, screw it. We always get that for NXT, so I'm glad they're doing it here for Raw. It was the probably biggest production change with the move from Fox to the USA Network, and here's my thing. Why didn't Fox do picture-in-picture? As somebody who watches a lot of Fox Sports, specifically NASCAR on Fox, they do picture-in-picture for NASCAR on Fox. So is it a fact of the way they're selling the ads? They were selling the ads for SmackDown that they couldn't do the picture-in-picture? Because that's the thing. When you're selling ads at X amount of money. So you say, for a 30-second spot during this show, this sporting event, this program, you will pay us X amount of money. Yet, if your ad plays while the show is at a picture-in-picture break, is actually at a decreased rate. I don't know if maybe they just didn't want to do that at all for SmackDown. Like, we don't get it for NFL because NFL does the whole TV timeout stuff, and that's different. Well, NASCAR, we do see picture-in-picture breaks on Fox. So I'm like, why don't they do this for SmackDown? But I guess there's a money thing. They wanted the full ad revenue, not the partial, the decreased ad revenue. Anyways, where was I? Back from the picture-in-picture break, Andrade went for a double knees and missed. Hayes tried to capitalize, but the two traded moves and pin attempts. Andrade tried to lift Hayes up, but couldn't quite get him there. And then Hayes hit a first 48, but Andrade came back with a spinning back elbow and got a good near fall off of it. Andrade then went to the top and missed a moonsault into another moonsault spot. Hayes then got the knees up and countered the second moonsault. Hayes went to the top, but missed the nothing but net. Andrade then hit him with a wild destroyer that Hayes sold tremendously. Andrade then fired up the crowd and landed the double knees in the corner, but Hayes reacted pretty well. Andrade then went to the top, but missed a split-legged moonsault. Hayes then kicked Andrade's head while the two were on the top, but Andrade caught Hayes and kicked his head instead. All of this then led to the message from the top rope. And yeah, great spot off the top, the lead to the victory, and Andrade becoming #1 contender for the United States Championship. He hit that DDT off the top, and I'm like, oh, that was great. That was great. So this then led to LA Knight's music hitting and him coming out on the ramp. LA Knight did the "Let me talk to ya" and congratulated Andrade for winning the match and earning him a shot at the U.S. title. Knight said that Andrade hit the quote, "Hit it and quit it sweepstakes." Knight said that he'll drop Andrade on his head next week because everybody knows whose game it is, saying L.A. Knight, yeah. Go. So we can set up a U.S. title shot, or U.S. title match for next week's show with LA Knight defending against Andrade. Should be a pretty good match. Should be a really good match. I don't see Andrade winning. He's a former U.S. champion, but I don't see him winning. As we move forward here, Byron Saxton interviewed Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair backstage. Belair said that they were excited to be here, and they were excited to have their belts back. Cargill said that they won't let their titles go this time, and if anybody wants them, all they got to do is come get them. Now, Jax and Tiffany Stratton then walked into frame, and Jax threatened doing so, and also doing something bad to their friend Naomi. Jax reminded Cargill and Belair that she beat both of them in a route of winning Queen of the Ring. Well, they better watch out. So, are we teasing a tag title match with Nia and Tiffy challenging? That'd be interesting, because what they could do there is Nia and Tiffy challenge. Maybe Bianca gets the win, pinning Nia, setting up a WWE Women's title match between Nia and Bianca, and then we go from there. That'd be an interesting one. A good way to set up a challenger. You pin the champ in the tag match, and then say, hey, I beat the champ, give me a title shot. But this does lead to our main event segment of the night, as the OTC Roman Reigns comes out, and we go to our final break of the show. We then go into overtime with an overrun. Nick Aldis was in the ring with Roman Reigns. Roman soaked in the cheers as the crowd chanted, OTC, OTC, OTC. Aldis started talking, but Reigns put his hand out, wanting a microphone. Aldis gave Reigns the contract, but Reigns made a face and put his hand out again, wanting the microphone. The crowd then chanted again, even louder, OTC, OTC. Reigns says that he didn't want to confuse anybody, and said that some things change, but not him. Reigns says that he didn't need all this. He didn't need a contract. He reiterated, Bloodline business is family business. Again, a little weird. So why'd you sign the contract anyways, bruh? Reigns says that he definitely didn't need the help from Cody Rhodes. And he got a mixed reaction from that one. Reigns said no matter if he has the Ula Fala or not, he is the tribal chief, the only tribal chief. Reigns says, this is my ring, this is my show, this is my WWE. And on cue, Kingdom plays. Out comes WWE champion Cody Rhodes in street clothes. And this is when we cross that 10 o'clock hour. So Cody took his time getting down to the ring. Once in the ring, Cody asked for a microphone. Dueling OTC, or I don't know. They were dueling Cody OTC chants. It sounded like OTC, Cody, OTC. Yeah. Anyways, Cody had an issue with Reigns calling it his WWE. Where Cody said, well, it was, but it hasn't been since WrestleMania. The crowd then got a little confused as to how they should react. Cody then dropped his microphone, so Roman did the same. The two then started to stare at each other. Maybe they were going to fight or something, but they didn't, because out came Solo and Jacob Fatu. The two walked down the aisle and towards the ring. Solo and Fatu then stood outside the ring before Tangaloa and Tama Tonga would attack Cody and Roman inside the ring from behind. Cody then hit a Cody cutter on Loa, and Reigns hit a rock bottom on Tonga. Reigns then picked up the contract, stared at it for a second, and eventually did sign it, looking back over at Cody. Cody then put his title down and put his hand out for the contract. Reigns handed it over, and Cody also signs the contract. So the match is official at Bad Blood. It will be Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns teaming up to take on the team of Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Now, I'm not a big fan of how the match got set up because guys, Cody and Roman that is, just kept saying, I ain't signing no contract. I don't need to sign a contract. I ain't doing it. And then by the end, they both signed the contract. Yeah. A little weird and awkward and messy, if I do say so myself. A little bit messy is all I'm going to say on that one. But overall, that was a good episode of Smackdown. Smackdown is back on the USA Network. We've learned a couple of things. 2 production changes. Looks like maybe not every week, maybe most weeks. I don't know. Overruns. And picture-in-picture breaks. Other than that, it's still a WWE show. It's still Smackdown. Same old, same old. But now the big question is, what are the ratings going to be? Now, the first week, you can't really look too much into that. Second week, maybe not either. But once you get to like week 3, maybe 4, you're going to see where it's going to level off at. They're no longer going to be doing over 2 million. I'm going to tell you that right now. I do not think once everything levels out, we ain't getting no 2 million viewers on the USA Network. I'm going to be honest. And this is like an uneducated kind of guess here. If we look at what Raw does outside of football season, when it's not against football, 1-7, 1-8, sometimes they'll hit a 1-9. SmackDown is the secondary show. It's not Raw. And it's on Fridays. So if I'm just thinking of the factors here, I'm going to put out a once everything levels off, maybe by week 3 or 4 and stuff, 1-3, 1-4 is my guess. A 1.3, 1.4, 1,400,000, 1,300,000 is what I think we might be getting. So very cool. Very awesome. Very good episode of SmackDown. But let's get the polls going here as far as on Twitch. See what you guys thought of the show. What did you think of SmackDown? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. All right, so the poll is live on Twitch. We'll go check the other polls now as well. As far as the Threads poll does go. Oop, and I accidentally just closed Threads out. Give me 1 second, guys. As far as the Threads poll does go, 71% liked the show, 14% thought it was just all right, and 14% didn't like it. One comment here says, liked it. As far as the Twitter X poll, 89.5% liked the show, 10.5% thought it was just all right. Looking at the YouTube community poll, 87% liked the show, 9% thought it was just all right, and 5% didn't like it. Some of the comments here states, loved it. Gonna look into that. There's a news thing here that I haven't heard. Versus, I love the new theme song and the new logo. And this person says, Tim, same typical predictable garbage. Muted crowd reactions are so annoying. Well, it's not a WWE call. It's almost not even a USA Network call. It's called FCC. And if you don't understand that, you can get the fuck out. I hate these people that go, why are they muting things? Like, is this a kid's show where they're gonna... It's not that they want to. It's that they have to legally. Because the FCC regulations on what is allowed to be said and heard on a cable broadcast. Now, once they go to Netflix, I think it was Andrew Zarian that said this on his Tuesday podcast with Garrett Gonzalez. He said, once we got Raw on Netflix, that is going to be the closest we're ever going to get to a WWE weekly show on like a Showtime or an HBO. Because there's going to be very minimal rules as far as what can and can't be done. So I like that. I like that theory by Zarian, where he's like, it's going to be the closest we've ever got, probably going to get to a WWE weekly show on a HBO or Showtime. As far as everybody that voted on Twitch, everybody liked the show. And looking at the YouTube live poll, 90% liked the show, 8% thought it was just all right, and 1% didn't like it. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, guys, have a great night. And we'll be back live on Monday for Monday Night Raw. Have a good one, guys.